Hi Kiwi, alright, we are back at Pokemon Shining Pearl, and we are going to pick up where we left off. We just hit Route 209. We're going to encounter a bunch of new trainers here, and I'm going to switch out my team a little bit. I'm going to put Quipplecore up front because I see a bird catcher up front. We're going to take them on for a battle, presumably, so... Let me see how much you've raised your Pokemon. And we're just going to casually make our way towards, I believe, Solaceon Town from here. But while we're just having some casual battles, I figure I'll share some fun stories. First off, we've been going to the farmer's market for a while now, but I have some funny photos of produce that we picked up. First off, if you've never seen how... Wait, this is a bird catcher, isn't he? No, wait, you're a Pokemon breeder. Okay, I misunderstood what you were. Okay, that makes more sense. So, Quipplecore... Actually, Quipplecore can handle this because we have Bulldoze. Anyway, so, first off, Brussels sprouts. Everyone kind of... to my understanding, Brussels sprouts are generally not super popular as far as vegetables go because, well, they can taste pretty bitter. But have you ever seen what Brussels sprouts grow on? I'm going to kind of tack in some photos here and there just through this early part of the episode so you can see kind of the nonsense that we have pulled out of a farmer's market. But apparently Brussels sprouts grow on these giant, almost club-like branches, and we got these things are huge for record. I mean, you can see how big they are in the photo. But these Brussels sprouts, you could beat someone over the head with them. It's pretty hefty. That thing weighs a good, probably like around 10 pounds. It's no lightweight branch of greens. Now, what are we going to do with those? I like to toss them with a whole lot of crushed garlic and rosemary and salt and pepper. And I actually like to eat them raw that way. I find them less bitter raw, but they're definitely tough. They're probably not for everyone eating them that way, and I certainly understand if you wouldn't enjoy them, Kiwi, that way. But I quite enjoy the texture. We've got a Badoo here. I don't want to deal with Badoo on a quad week rock ground type, so we'll switch out to Pine Tree here. We're finally at the point where Pine Tree is usable again because we're within level of Celestabetha. So yeah, we'll go ahead and switch out here. And then, so yeah, I'm gonna be crunching on some raw Brussels sprouts soon, and I'm sure some people are gonna find that alarming and kind of gross, but I like it. The other kind of crazy photo that I have to show you here is we got a really tiny apple and a really huge sweet potato, and it's really funny to see them side by side with each other. So I took this photo. Oh, and we also, this is what's called a honey nut squash, which if you've ever seen a butternut squash, it's basically a baby version of that. But without any perspective in this photo, you can't really tell which one is larger than the other. So I added in the Brussels sprouts for like kind of perspective and some background just so you can actually like kind of tell how big they are. But that sweet potato weighs almost as much as my cat, which I think is hilarious. The Brussels sprouts weigh more than my cat by a fair margin. But wow, this guy has really good type coverage on his team. He has like an answer to everything I switch out to. I guess we'll switch back to Quipplecore then. But yeah, it's been a fun little trip to the farmer's market. As far as what we did with that sweet potato, we had some leftover pumpkin that we had bought. We chopped up the pumpkin and the sweet potato and then mixed them together and baked them, tossed it with a little salt and olive oil. Well, actually, we skipped the olive oil, but we could have tossed it with a little olive oil. And it was quite good. Made for quite a good side. We ended up having spaghetti and tomato sauce to go alongside it, angel hair pasta, because we like angel hair, but we don't get to eat it that often. Admittedly, for me, I like my big, thick noodles. Good stuff. Your Pokemon are in impeccable condition. But it was fun. We had a very nice dinner last night. We actually this wasn't from the farmer's market, but we did go to a what's the word? A farm, an actual farm, where we went apple picking and came home with 24 pounds of apples. A good rod is really good, wouldn't you agree? Yes. We're of identical minds. Take this good rod. I was expecting a battle, which is why I swapped out to Captain Squawk, but that's fine. Try fishing wherever there is a body of water. Oh, incidentally, do you need me to explain how to use that fishing rod? Please, no. When you're fishing for Pokemon, the first hurdle is getting a bite. After you reel the Pokemon in, you've got to battle it, so fishing gives you double the fun. My voice is a little shot right now. It's actually kind of painful, so I'm doing the easier to deliver voices today. Forgive me if it's a little bit drier this episode, but we'll maintain what quality I can. I will do my best. Are you not a circulating trainer? Can we? Oh no. Do you jog every morning too? No? All right. Alrighty, so we definitely don't want Celesta Betha up front for a double battle, but you know what would be pretty funny is if we lead with 2 Intimidate users for this double. This will be our first actual double battle, so wish us luck.
We battle together, that's why we're tough. We're gonna crunch and munch you all up.
But, so yeah, we bought 24 pounds of apples, and mind you, we already had like 10 pounds of apples in the fridge that we had gotten earlier. We're probably going to be making at least 2 pies out of that, and it's going to be a good time for both of us. Rock type and psychic type. I don't think Bonsly has any ground type moves, unless it learns Bulldoze, but it definitely has Rock Throw by now, so we'll switch out Pine Tree and let probably Captain Squawk crunch on the Mime Jr. I'm not super worried about taking a Bulldoze because we just have this Bonsly's attack. Mime Jr. is a special attacker, so it's not going to matter too much for him, but I think we're fine. So we'll do Bite on the Mime Jr., and we will swap out to Manny the Doombuster for safety reasons here. Anyway, so we're going to be making one of our apple pies. Now, I've talked about this apple pie a number of times in our various playthroughs on this channel, but I'll bring it up one more time. What we do is we sous vide our apples, which makes them still crunchy, but cooked to perfection. Pardon me, ill-timed sneeze. Anyway, so the way we do this is, so sous videing, for those who are not familiar with it, sous vide is a method of cooking where you very slowly cook something in a warm water bath. That makes it so you can very tightly control the temperature of what you're cooking. And so what we do is we take those apples, we vacuum seal them in a little plastic bag, and we set them into a water bath. So it's a little mechanical apparatus that is partially submerged in water. It circulates the water, so it's constantly like basically not quite stirring the water, but constantly keeping the water in motion. So the differences in temperatures that it produces are uniform throughout the water, or it gets mixed. So you don't really have different areas of the container at different temperatures. Granted, of course, the parts of the container that are in contact with the surface air and the countertop are going to be a little bit cooler because there's no avoiding that. But overall, the temperature of the water is maintained, and so you can in a very controlled manner. Wah! Wah! All right, excellent voice acting here. I know. You can very comfortably control how much, what temperature everything is, and get everything to the exact temperature you want. Makes it for some very tender cuts of meat if you want to cook meat, and alternatively, it makes sure that you never overcook things, or it's very hard to overcook things because usually when you're sous videing, it cooks for at least an hour or 2 to like reach its appropriate temperature.
Hi, I'm a Pokemon.
No, you're not. You're a child. And I'm going to ruin your dreams. If you have a Pikachu, I'm going to crush it under a whole bunch of rocks. I hope you're looking forward to that, Poke Kid Danielle. For what it's worth, I do think that costume is kind of cute, though. But yeah, we're going to ruin this Pikachu's day, and the kid who owns it. Just completely cover them in boulders, that's fine. Honestly, actually, Bulldoze is objectively better here because it's super effective, but you know what I'm going for. Ugh, sweet kiss. That'll confuse us, unfortunately. Anyway, so we sous vide the apples, but before the way we get the apples into the form that we want to sous vide them is we do have a stand mixer that has a apple peeling and slicing attachment. It peels the apples and then it slices them just thin enough. I'd say they're probably at maximum a 1/4 inch, probably closer to 1/8 of an inch thick. And that plus the sous videing lets them get the perfect level of crunchiness that you want for an apple pie, but like not so crunchy that it's undercooked.
I'm so angry.
And it just then because they're so thinly sliced and sous videed in that manner, they're very easy to just pile up into a pie. And so our apple pies end up getting like somewhere in the realm of 5 to 10 pounds of apples per pie. Oh, you're not a trainer. Okay, what have you got?
Yes, I knew that you are... Oh, wait. Yeah, I knew it. You and the chairman of the Pokemon fan club would hit it off. I'm so happy that you've become one of us. Please take these as a token of our friendship.
You obtained 3 Flora stickers, E. Cool, cool. All right, let's get our berries. Lepa berries. Those cure paralysis? No, those are cherry berries. Lepas are they're like ethers. They restore 10 PP to the Pokemon that consumes it. And are these rosts? Chesto berries. Okay, 2 chesto berries. Huh. I definitely remember in the original game that they were a blue tree, I believe. No matter. So anyway, so we, and then the crust we use for our pie is also quite good. It is a cream cheese and butter based crust. And The cream cheese adds just the right amount of like kind of like a bitterness to it, but it melts into the buttery, savory flavor that, well, the butter adds plus the flour, and it just tastes so darn good. I'm very happy with what we've created. Hello there, hiding in the trees. When I was jogging the other day, a wild Pokemon came after me. I ran so fast I was on top of the waves, I swear. That's spooky. I think this is where we get Spiritomb. There is a broken, crumbling tower made of stone. I forget how you actually unlock Spiritomb, but I think it's a bit of a hefty process. Now, this area is actually kind of nostalgic for me because I remember there's a straightaway path you can go up and down for hatching eggs, and I used to do it all the time back when I was breeding Pokemon for competitive. And we're probably going to do that to hatch this egg because I would like to have the doof back on our team, or at least see what this baby is and if it's worth using. Are you a trainer? Yes.
Listen, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a battle with your Pokemon.
Don't know why the breeders have gotten the Rowan voice, but that is what we're doing for today. Oh, and she's female. Well, Pokemon breeder Jennifer. Oh, okay. She's got the kitty face and the twinkle eyes. Wow. They made her very animated, didn't they? I still think the animation is very cute. I will at least give this game one bit of credit, and that is that I really like their trainer animations. I think they're very cute. And I appreciate that. Is it enough to save this game from mediocrity and all the game-breaking bugs that that it had on release? Absolutely not. But I'm willing to give a game credit where it deserves credit. There are bits of it that are worth recognizing and appreciating. Yeah, okay. Mime Jr. has like nothing to attack us with that is of a threat. Oh my goodness, did you see that little happy dance that the Mime Jr. Okay, once again, there are little subtle animations that I really do have to give, I forgot the name of the studio, but the guys who created this game. Yes, there were a lot of problems. I think, if anything, they were probably the victim of Pokemon's release schedule. They, 1 year to, well, they were probably forced to rush the delivery, I imagine, a little bit, and the game suffered for it. But if I ignore that issue, there are, like, I shouldn't ignore that issue, but if I acknowledge the pros of this game, there are some bits that are nice, and if nothing else, at least I did get a Gen 4 game. I'm very interested to see how they're going to remake Gen 5, and we're certainly looking very eagerly forward to Legends Arceus, or not Legends Arceus, Legends ZA or whatever they're doing, which I assume is going to represent Zygarde. I don't like the idea of attacking Badoo here because I'm probably going to get poisoned if I bite it, but I'm going to accept the risk of poison point to affect Spore and deal with it if it happens. At least we one-shot it. I appreciate that the breeders only have baby Pokemon, which means they're really not that much of a threat. But they are free experience. Oh, right, I gave you the Rowan voice. I guess we stick with it. Oh, how do you giggle with Rowan's voice? No, that sounded awful.
They're raised with lots of care.
Oh well. What are you gonna do here? All right, these are like little meteors. Oh, hey, I found a tiny mushroom in the middle of the meteor drop zone, I guess. Interesting that they would put that there, but I think tiny mushrooms, the way they usually work is there's like a random dude who will collect them. And then we can, I forget what they give. It used to be maybe moves, or no, I can't remember. Admittedly, the last real Pokemon game I played was Sword and Shield, so I'm a bit dated, and not dated, maybe a bit rusty. Scree-O.
Have you heard? There are statues that you can dig up from the walls of the Grand Underground. I'd love to see a statue for myself someday.
Alright, so I guess we have to go around the grass path, but this person's just waiting there to battle us, which is really rude. Do I need to heal Captain Squawk before I take on another fight? Oh, we've got Quipplecore. I think we're probably fine and we can switch out if not. Let's bust out our bike. So yeah, basically if I recall, you just go up and down this path non-stop, and that's the fastest way to maybe... Hold on, I need to activate my Mach Bike. Vroom! There we go.
Hi there. Where are you from? What kinds of Pokemon have you got?
I am just gonna give all of the female characters male voices today, and I don't know why. Cowgirl Shelly. Okay, I like that side. And the little jump and the hip twist, okay. Again, for what it's worth, the devs were cooking with the character designs and animations. I still am very upset that they do not do the gender dimorphism for Bidoof, though. I am very consciously aware of that, or at least from the angles that I have seen them, I am consciously aware. I may be mistaken, but it does not seem like they they didn't know that male and female Bidoof have a different number of tail orbs, and it bothers me. Although that one looked like it had 3 orbs, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when I was mistaken earlier. Let's see. No, I still think, well, these are both female, and I see at least females have 3 tail orbs, males have 5 tail orbs, I believe. So maybe it is correct and something just went wrong when I was looking at it before, or can we just get one good butt shot of the Bidoof, please? One Bidoof butt shot, please. Nope, that's not a that's not a Bidoof shot. Whatever. We're gonna smack it down. We're definitely a little bit over-leveled for this area, but I fear that that's the nature of Nuzlocke. One bad battle and we just lose a Pokemon, so it doesn't hurt to be a little over-leveled right now. I won't complain too much about it. Although the experience rates are definitely leaving a lot to be desired. I would love it if we could at least make it to Solaceon Town before this episode is over, though. We have a lot of trainers to encounter. Anyway, I digress. So I talked about our crust. I talked about the apple filling. The other nice thing is, so with sous videing, when you sous vide things, the things that you cook in that bag exude their fluids and accumulate in the bag, and you can pour them off and then thicken them. And so I do that with there's a balsamic chicken that we make that I do that with. But also the apple juice that we create from sous videing the apples, we then put it into a little pan and cook it up and boil it off, and we end up getting a delicious apple caramel flavor because there's a little bit of butter in it too. And it tastes so good, but rather than just eat it straight, we just pour it back into the apples, toss it in, and it melts again when the apples cook in the pie. And so we just get this kind of like slightly caramel glazed, densely packed apple pie, and it is with my favorite crust we have ever made, also, mind you. It is just, I have yet to meet a person who dislikes this apple pie if they like apple pie. And for context, I didn't used to like apple pie until we made our apple pie. So, I mean, certainly there's probably some nepotism in that. It's my child, I want to eat it. Fancy folks like you have fancy Pokemon too, it looks like. I don't know, I just can't do convincing accents, I'm sorry. That's something I need to practice with, but I don't have a lot of experience in practicing that. Alright, we've got 2 kids chasing each other. Oh no, you're a double battle, uh-oh.
You want to battle with me? I will if I can. Team with Ty.
You're not supposed to intrude on my time with Sue. Alright, I wasn't expecting this to be a double battle, this is a little scary. Oh, that's cute. Challenged by young couple Sue and Ty. That guy on the left looks super generic, and we've got 2 rock types, which are a little scary, or 2 fighting types rather, so realistically speaking, the double Intimidate is probably enough to completely make them irrelevant, but a low kick from Machop onto Graveler sounds really scary, and if they double up on him because he's weak against that, I'm not feeling that sort of interaction, so let's switch out Manny the Dude Buster. He'll probably be able to take those 2 hits. My tree is dozing off, it must be sleepy. Interesting that they're giving us these little descriptions. I think, honestly, between the 2, Machop is probably the scarier of the 2 from what I've seen thus far, hence we will target Machop first. I think we're more than fast enough to knock it out here, but I'm going to play safe, because if I don't play safe, I have a bad time ahead of me. Okay, good. Machop is done. We're fine now. Both of these guys can tank 1 hit from whatever Meditite can do. Alright, anyway, so anything else I can say about our pie? Not really. But, see, they would have low-kicked Graveler. They would have both low-kicked Graveler, and he probably would have been knocked out even though they had their attack reduced and their defenses, and Graveler has such a high defense. I don't think he would have survived that. If they both targeted him, mind you. Regardless, we're fine now. Anywho, as I was saying, I suppose I think that's probably it. We also came back from the farm that we visited. Aside from the 24 pounds of apples that we purchased, we also bought a ridiculous amount of squash.
I'm sorry, Ty.
I only have eyes for Sue. Maybe that's why we lost. He looks super generic, but his V-neck t-shirt does look cozy. I will give him that. He honestly looks like he was wearing the clothes that I would wear, honestly. Can we not act? Okay, we cannot. Oh, we did make it to Solaceon Town, but I can't actually reach that area without going through the grass here, unfortunately. So let's pop off our bike for a second so we don't entice wild Pokemon more than we have to. Fortunately, we still got one. Oh well. But yeah, we have a whole lot of squash now. We got acorn squash, butternut squash, a whole lot of honey nut squash. That was the main thing. We also got a cute little white pumpkin, all of which I am very much looking forward to eating with Kiwi. We'll go ahead and switch out to Captain Squawk because I think he can take a hit of whatever B-Barrel offers. But yeah, all in all, looking forward to a lot of fun meals with all that good stuff. Beyond that, is there anything else that I can talk about that we got? Not really. I think that's kind of the bulk of it, but I hope you enjoyed the photos I included so you can see like the ridiculousness of the things we purchased. Oh, you know what we did? For Halloween, we made a spooky cake, or, well, we attempted to. So there is a fancy, I think it's a Genoese cake, Genoese Jeffrey cake or something is what it's called. We picked the recipe because it has my name in it, and why not? Because it's just funny that they have a cake with the name Jeffrey in it. But we made that. We filled it with a raspberry chocolate mousse. It was supposed to be a raspberry jam mixed with a chocolate mousse, but the raspberry jam just we didn't boil it down enough, so it was a little too thick to be usable. So we mixed it with the mousse to make it a little bit thicker, and it held its consistency pretty well, especially after we chilled it in the fridge. So we had 2 layers of this Genoese Jeffrey cake, which is fascinating. It is more chocolate than any other ingredient. It is made by, I think, like 280 grams of chocolate and only 66 grams of cake flour. That's all the flour that's in that cake. Everything else is, it also takes 8 eggs, a mixture of egg white and egg yolk. You hand mix them both up so that they're super frothy, and that gives the cake its fluffiness. So it's a surprisingly kind of like, if you've ever had, what are they called? Oh gosh, I'm totally blanking on the name.
I wonder what's at the top of the Lost Tower. I'm very curious, but I'm also very scared.
What do you have to say about that bird? Tweedledee, tweedledee-da. Okay. But anyway, that cake, our intent was to make it kind of spooky, so let's see if I can make this. Ooh, almost. Oh, still got it. Cool. You found a bottle of calcium. Delicious. Strong bones. Hooray. Anyway, that is some convincingly good dialogue right there, if I ever had to offer anything. Anyway, so as I was saying, so the cake had a layer of raspberry mousse, or raspberry chocolate mousse.
Where departed Pokemon sleep. This is the Lost Tower.
Ominous. Oh, hey, we can get through here. Oh, another item. Cool. I think we'll check out the Lost Tower next episode because it will hopefully provide us with the ghost type Pokemon, and I love my ghost type Pokemon. I want to be able to commit some time to them. Steel Wing. I think it has a poorer accuracy and its base damage isn't nearly as enticing as it might sound on face value. But okay, let me finish the story about this cake. So on the outside of the cake, so we have the inner 2 layers of chocolate cake that is mostly chocolate and a little bit of flour, and mostly chocolate and egg. And then on the inside we have a raspberry chocolate mousse, and then on the outside we made a chocolate ganache, and we coated it in the ganache, and that also helped kind of before the raspberry chocolate mousse fully set, because the raspberry still was a little bit thin even mixed with the mousse. The ganache helped hold it in place, which was quite useful. Now, mind you, this cake is really difficult to bake and or to make look good, and we definitely didn't make an aesthetically appealing cake. But my goodness, if you want a death by chocolate sort of cake, this was fantastic. And in terms of calories, it was comparable to, despite how I've described its content, it's about comparable for cakes because there's no butter in it. You don't need butter when you have that much chocolate and egg, I guess.
If you use a repel, it keeps weak Pokemon away from you. It's useful even when you need to get somewhere in a hurry. I want to decorate my ball capsules, but I can't buy any stickers here. Let's see, is there anything? We'll probably restock on some potions while we're here. Oh, hey, look, we can buy fancy balls now. Dusk balls, nest balls, and net balls. I don't think I want to buy any of those just yet, but I mean, we can't buy great balls yet? I thought we could. I think we're good on our Pokeball count for now. It's not like we're actively catching things that fast. We'll go ahead and bump up ourselves by another 10 potions, though. I think there's no harm in doing that. And we will go ahead and buy some super potions, too. Doesn't hurt to keep a nice round 15 of those around. And we'll bump up all of our antidotes and paralyzed heals to a minimum of 5 if we don't already have that many. But and then on top of this cake, what we did was we took a little bit of white chocolate and melted it, and then drew on it with a little spiderweb pattern. And we had initially planned to do it with powdered sugar. We would stencil out some wax paper, put it on top of the cake, and then pour the powdered sugar on top. The issue was kind of late into the game, we decided we wanted to use a ganache, and it would be a lot harder to do that. When I grow up, I want to work with the Pokemon nursery.
Your encounters with Pokemon can be considered your shared history. There's this here's a Pokédex app called Pokemon History. Use it to see your history of Pokemon catches.
All right, we obtained the Pokemon History Pokédex app. You installed the app on the Pokédex.
The Pokemon History app shows the most recently obtained Pokemon.
I guess that's helpful if I forget what I just caught literally in the previous episode. Oh, okay, it goes in order. So, wait, is that... Maybe it includes Pokedex entries because we didn't catch a Graveler, we evolved a Graveler. Interesting though, so that'll show us the order. Oh, Kerfufflefump, I'm so sorry about what happened to you. You deserve better. Anywho, breathing in this refreshing air, it even perks up Pokemon. That's why I'm out here. It's like I'm trying to do kind of a country southern accent and I'm slipping into British every time. It's a little frustrating that I can't be more consistent with any other form of accent, but this is a little bit of a maze, but I think we can slip in through here. No. Okay, how do we get through here? I guess we have to come around from the other side, maybe? No matter. We'll figure that out later. Anyway, we have officially made it to Solaceon Town, so let's explore the town a little bit and see what we have to offer. We do have two Pokemon Center uses, but I'd like to save them for more pressing issues, potentially. So does this go away if I read the TV? It does. Berry Professor.
Say hey, how do your berries grow today? Say hey, berry fans, how goes it today, okay? Enough fooling about, let me lay it right out. Today is Berry Lookout. Route 205 is where I went, hoping to find berries by scent. But no berries were there. My time has been wasted. I have traveled in vain. My excitement shriveled and withered away. But it must mean someone's happy for having picked berries. Say hey, plant your berries today. Thanks, everyone.
He lost his rhyming meter. Oh well.
The Sinnoh region's newspaper is tiny, but it has many fans. That newspaper is printed right here. Whoa, well, welcome. You saw the notice outside about us hiring, right? Is that a Pokedex there? Then you must know Professor Rowan. You're just the Pokemon searching expert we've been looking for. I want you to bring me a Beautifly. You must bring it today or we're not going to be able to run our main article. Remember, it has to be today before the date rolls over.
Sorry, bud, I am not catching a Beautifly for you. That is too much work. And I don't feel like it.
Every Sunday I visit the Lost Tower.
We're not doing the old man voice again. I really hurt my throat yesterday doing it. I've learned my lesson. That voice is canceled and never coming back.
I'm the Pokemon nursery man. We look after the precious Pokemon of other trainers.
This one's completely illegible, and it's verbal exclusively.
If you'd like us to take care of your Pokemon, have a word with my wife. Wife.
What is happening with my voice, Kiwi? I figure what we'll do is we'll round out Solaceon Town, and then in the next episode, we'll hatch our egg, we'll get to the Pokemon Tower, and we'll see what's there.
They say no one has ever seen a Pokemon that actually lay an egg, so it hasn't been proven that Pokemon actually lay eggs. Every so often, eggs will be found at the Pokemon nursery. And they're found without anyone knowing how they got there. Is someone leaving them there?
Imagine if there's secretly just a Pokemon that produces eggs based on the affection of Pokemon around them. That would be an interesting thought. Okay, Route 210. So here's what we're gonna do. I don't think I've talked to you yet, so let's do that.
Howdy, traveling trainer. There's no gym in this town. You'll be wanting Veilstone or Pastoria.
Cool. Why don't we head to the next area and we'll end the episode with another new addition to the team. And then from there, we'll just start, do the things that I just said in the next episode. Let us go ahead and heal up Captain Squawk real quick, just in case he needs to be used for this. It's always helpful to have someone switch in for Intimidates. But we don't always get the best choice selection depending on what our potential weaknesses are. So let's see, what are we gonna find in Route 10 as our new addition? Oh, this is the super tall grass, I remember this. And we have got ourselves another Geodude. Species Clause being invoked right now. No Geodude is joining our team today. We've gotten, this is our 5th or 6th first encounter Geodude at this point. We're running out of body parts to train. All right, this Geodude is just getting out of here. Kiwi, I'm gonna fast forward once again until we find our new Pokemon. Oh, hello there. Now this is what I wanted to see. Oh, heck yeah, Chansey. So Chansey and Blissey used to be consistent cores, pardon the pun, on my old competitive team. I used to use them all the time because they're just really reliably good, especially defensive tanks, and have solid damage output if you give them Toxic or Charge Beam or Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss was what I usually used. We'll go ahead and send out Manny the Dude Buster because I can recover against this, and I don't think this Chansey has anything that can really hurt us in any like significantly threatening manner. Hopefully we can get Seismic Toss on it because that'll let it do some consistent damage. Tail Whip's a little spooky, but like what is it gonna hit us with? And even then, Chansey's attack stat is pathetic. It is like not even worth considering using. The reason why I'm excited about Chansey in this instance is exclusively the fact that I can potentially, I don't know if Water Pulse is a good idea. If it gets confused, it kills itself. I'm gonna be very sad here. At least it'll give a bunch of experience. Okay, we're not even close to being threatened by it. Okay, Echoed Voice, that'll do some amount of damage maybe? No, not really. A crit, that was a crit, okay. Yeah, so Chansey's overall DPS potential is minimal at best. That's why you need good supporting moves on it. A status ailment like, what's the word? A status ailment, for example, that's gonna heal you, isn't it? Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to damage this down and be able to catch it reliably. I'll have to switch out to a Pokemon that does more damage here. Maybe Pine Tree. I worry Pine Tree's gonna hit it a little too hard. You know what? Celestabeth is probably not gonna kill it here, and we can stack up Flame Charge damage on it. Chansey's defense is low, but Celestabeth's attack is super low, and Chansey has a ton of HP, so I don't think we're one-shotting it. I'm a little more nervous about it using attacks on us, but if it uses Echoed Voice, I think that's either normal or fairy type, and that's not gonna kill us. I'm pretty sure, even with a defense drop, because it will be a special attack based on how it looks. Okay, so we knock its HP down by half by using Flame Charge. That's good to know. Wow, it was ready to take damage. Use Life Dew immediately. That's funny. It's gonna heal back to full, right? No, it only heals a quarter. Perfect. Okay, that's to our benefit. So we'll hit it with another Flame Charge here, and then we'll toss a Pokeball at it. Chansey's catch rate is probably gonna be fairly low. Do I have anything that can reliably paralyze here? Not really. All right, how about if it? Okay, that doesn't do anything. Let's go ahead and toss a Pokeball. Do we have a Great Ball still? We do not. I don't think Premier Balls have any increased catch rate at all, so we'll just keep tossing Pokeballs until we have to whittle its HP down further. Maybe I send out... Yeah, maybe I send out Captain Squawk and use... what's it called? I use... Spark, so I can potentially paralyze it. Manny the Dude Buster using Body Slam also has a reasonable chance of paralysis, but that'll increase our catch rate against the Chansey at the very least. It's gonna be sad if we use all of our Pokeballs, and I chose not to buy more at the Pokemart because I felt we had enough. I thought we did, I really did. Alright, we know 3 of its moves now, Echoed Voice, Sing, and Tail Whip. And Life Dew. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it having any physical damaging moves, which means really the most inconvenient thing it can do at this point is another Life Dew to heal itself up to... Well, we're sitting on the same RNG chance of catching it each time. It's going to spam Tail Whip, and that's fun, because that means we don't have to worry about being knocked out by Echoed Voice, although Echoed Voice is not a threat. Kiwi, I think what I'm going to do is, rather than ramble about how poor my catch chances seem to be right now, I'll fast forward, and then once we catch this Chansey, we'll call it a day. Got it. Nice. Okay. Ooh, that was a lot of Pokeballs we just burned through. I guess I'm gonna go back to the Pokemart and buy those Pokeballs after all. All right then, there we go. All right, and Pine Tree wants a... Ooh, excellent. Okay, Aerial Ice is a very solid flying type move. Cannot miss and has, I think, a base 60 damage. Yeah, base 60. But compared to Wing Attack, I mean, it's basically the same move, all things considered. It just can't miss. I think I'll toss out Double Team so we just have 2 options. We'll eventually replace Wing Attack with something else, I think. Maybe that Steel Wing we got earlier. That might be nice. But all right, we've got Aerial Ace on Pine Tree now. And oh, Chansey is worth a lot of experience, so everyone is kind of leveling up. Chansey's data will be added to the Pokedex.
Chansey, it lays several eggs a day and won't share them with those who have evil in their hearts.
I wonder if Chanseys are the equivalent of chickens in the Pokemon world, like this is where everyone gets their eggs for breakfast. What are we gonna name Chansey? I don't actually. Oh, you know what? I remember the name. The nickname I always gave my Chansey and Blissey. It was just Nurse Joy, which is super boring. So let's still name you Nurse. But what would be the most like metal nurse name? My brain immediately went Nurse Blood. But that seems to. Sure, why not? Let's give the roundest Pokemon the name Nurse Dagger. Welcome to the team, Nurse Dagger. All right, to the box for now. We'll take you out after we catch this next Pokemon. So anyway, my old route for hatching eggs was the entire stretch from Salacion Town to the place north of here, because it's literally just a straight path up and down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grind out some steps for the sake of hatching this egg. I'll include that at the end of this episode too, so we can see what the Pokemon we quote-unquote caught in the Pokemon we caught in our home city, was it, I think? We'll see what that ends up being. Wow, we're already at 24,000 steps. That's pretty wild. Well, I'll see you when we have that egg, Kiwi. Alright, Kiwi, I looked it up. It turns out that the egg you get is actually a Happy egg, which is the baby form of Chansey. I don't feel like grinding out steps to hatch that thing, so we're gonna go ahead and just toss that back into our box right now. Now the question is, do I go ahead and take Chansey onto our team in replacement of the Doof? And I kind of want to, but we don't have any good moves to make Chansey really a functional member of our team just yet. She's just a giant egg. So you know what, I've talked myself out of it. We're gonna take the Doof and put him back on the team. I just don't think I need to go out of my way to hatch an egg. We'll accept it as a fodder Pokemon for evolution. Speaking of which, we do have to actually resolve that leftover issue from Quipplecore evolving. So we did get a first encounter Metatite, and I think Brock Candyfing is gonna go ahead and get benched. So to the dead box you go. Right next, you can keep Turter's company. Our good boy is still missed. Dearly, dearly missed. Alright, Kiwi, with all that said, I hope you've enjoyed watching. Let's talk to these two NPCs in the Poke Center and then we'll call it a day. You look like a Rowan.
I read somewhere that Pokemon grow at different rates.
Okay, cool.
It's a fair distance from Salacion Town to Veilstone City. I suppose you can rest at the cafe. But that place...
Yeah, that place. Alright, Kiwi. I have just consumed one of my Poke Center uses by switching out the Doof back into our party, and I'm okay with that. We still have one more left. With all that said, though, let's heal up and let's call it a day. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one for some more Pokemon chaotic action. Or really casual playthrough that will help you fall asleep as intended. Either way, see you next time. Bye.